We up and running, Chris? We up and running? And we are live. Look at this guy here. People, hold on. He's almost got as good a hair as me, Chris. Almost, huh, boy? That's my guy right there. All right, everybody, you know what it is. Today is Wednesday, December 7th. It is
Pearl Harbor Day.
Pearl Harbor Day. Shout out to all the vets. Other than that, we're live direct to you from North Hollywood, California. My name is Gil. I am the American Cholo, and this is the American Cholo Podcast. And of course, I got my co-host in the house, Mr. Boo Boo Bear.
What's up? What's going on out there? We're doing it again. One more time.
We got Chris on the DJ, Chris on the video, Chris on the ones and twos, doing it all. Man, damn it, he got the one this time. He got the one. So it was kind of cool that last week, one of the audience asked, "Ya cállate, pinche." There you go. That one wants all the shine, fool. It was kind of cool that last week somebody asked about, "Hey man, why don't you get some, somebody who can have a platform that puts us on, that puts videos on and stuff like that." Wait a minute, you guys just don't know. I got the
hookup.
I got the hookup here today. Today I have two gentlemen. I dare call them gentlemen, but you gotta kind of call them gentlemen.
Yep, I'll take it.
We got creator and founder of Chicano Hollywood, Mr. Johnny Murillo, and producer-director Alberto Cartillo from the 818. He's also the creator of Cholo's Tribe. What's going on, gentlemen?
What's up? Good to be here.
Welcome.
Man.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
I know you're busy. I know you've been a busy guy out here. Johnny, how's it going, bud?
Man, good, brother. Good. We're on a mission. And we want to build our community up. So, right now, we're, actually, I'm not calling it a tour per se, but we want to connect with all our gente out there. They got podcasts, they got radio shows, they got platforms. We want to connect with them because we're at that point now. It's like, okay, it's time to come out of the closet. You know what I'm saying?
I wait. All right,
so
just checking.
Chicano Hollywood's coming out. So we want the world to know we have.
Maybe use a different metaphor.
I know. I could think of nothing. Hey, we want to have our quinceañera.
You should go. Hey, how's that one? Hey, Albert, you should have said, "Speak for yourself, Johnny." I'm not coming out of no closet.
This is our quinceañera. This is our quinceañero. We're coming out now. So I think it's time. Our community is ready. So thank you, Gil.
No, man. Thank you for coming out here. And thank you for what you're doing. So let's get a little history so that way people know, where you guys grew up, what made you guys, do what you're doing now. So we'll start with you, Johnny.
Yeah. So, okay, I was raised in San Jose, I'm from the north, right? So up there, my grandfather, everybody, they all migrated up, the whole story. We all have a lot of the similar stories, right? So my grandfather came up from, he was from León, Guanajuato. My grandma was from Mexicali. Okay. My real dad was from Zacatecas, my stepdad from Mexicali. So, everyone all came up. So that's who we were, right? Everybody was not necessarily legal,
Yeah.
But in the like a lot of our stories, my grandfather was in World War II. My Nino was in Vietnam. My otro primo was in Vietnam. Yeah. So everyone, the family grew. So my grandfather. I was raised as a child. I can never say I was out there picking, right? But my grandfather, he oversaw all of the Monferino cherry orchards. If you're from San Jose, the Monferino ranches. They were the biggest cherry orchards. And now, where all that Silicon Valley buildings are, that used to be orchards and so on. So my grandpa used to oversee them. So as a child in the late 60s, early 70s, I'd go out there with him, with my older brother, and they're picking cherries and we're throwing them at each other, right? So we're climbing the tree. So that was my upbringing, right? Kind of that La Bamba story, right? And then from there, we grew up in the culture. We grew up lowrider culture. My real dad was. He wasn't around, right? He liked the bottle more than us, so he left, right? So a lot of people have that same story.
Right.
Stepdad came in. He was cool, but he was caught up, Down here, there's an organization that has a letter on it,
Right.
Up north, there's another organization that had two letters, right? So they're all caught up in all that stuff, right? So I was raised around that. He would, get old cars, remodel them to lowriders. That's what he would do. He'd build them out. So we were raised around lowrider culture, and that's who we were. My older brother was, a gang member. My younger brother was. They were cholos, right? I always tell people I was in it, but I wasn't a very good cholo. Just, I wasn't good, bro. I was down with it when we had to, right? All that stuff. But while we were, everybody's just hanging around, doing their thing, I'm going off to drama practice.
Okay.
You had other plans.
But I wasn't, understand, though. I was down with it when we had to throw down. We had our barrio was barrio libre. There was horseshoe. There was palmas. When we had to get beat up by them, I was there with them. So just put it that way. If you're from horseshoe, you know what I'm talking about, right? So we were caught up in it. Stepdad got killed. That was in the mid 70s. So then right around the 80s, things, we're just there. We used to cruise King and store. My first car was a 53 Chevy pickup, metallic blue, chrome rims. We were all lowriders, right? It was in. Like I said, I wasn't the best, but I also like.
But ahí estabas.
I like Careless Whisper. I mean, I like Phil Collins.
Everybody loves that song.
But I like oldies, right? And I like freestyle. So I was like, I wasn't the best one, but So that was a culture. From there, everybody got caught up. My little brother ended up he was a lifer, right? He did time and all that stuff, but thank God he got out about probably 8 years now, and he's doing excellent.
Right.
That punk, Tony, he was locked up, dude. That guy has a big old fat house in Fontana, living large and charge. Changed his life. He adopted a little girl. It's a beautiful family now,
Great story.
Yeah, older brother's an outreach pastor, kind of like Victor Outreach, but he runs like the Dream Center in Utah, So that's all. I got in the ministry as well. So for 23 years, I was a pastor as well. Did a lot of inner city outreach.
You were a pastor?
I was a pastor too, yeah.
What church?
Assemblies of God.
Okay.
I was Pentecostal, bro.
That's
I used to preach against going to movies and preach against secular music, So, and the Lord has a sense of humor, right?
Sure does.
That was, so right about 2008 when the economy tanked. Remember that, right?
Of course.
I lost everything. I lost my house. We had to shut down our church. It was a breaking time for me. It broke me, but it was in that breaking time that the Lord really spoke to me and said, "Now I'm going to call you to Hollywood." I'm like, what the heck? I can't do that. I'm Pentecostal. We preach against that.
Yeah. We don't watch TV.
Yeah, exactly. I throw my TV away 3 times already, So, it's like, I couldn't, but it was part of his plan. So, 15 years ago now, we came out here and, we linked up with Alberto. We had this cool little meeting up in Burbank. We just, I knew his pastor. His pastor and I were best friends. So, he told me about Berto. We had this little lunch meeting with another guy named Joey Martinez, and we're like, man, we're here now. What are we gonna do? So we've been partnering together since then, and he'll tell his side of the story. But we've been for that many years. We've been doing this. So out of all the production experience, I've produced a few movies, a lot of digital content, stuff like that, written some stuff. We're here now, and about a year and a half ago is when the journey started to start Chicano Hollywood.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you there. I'm gonna stop you right there. Where do you fit in this crazy puzzle? This madman, pastor, preacher, lowrider guy over here. We're gonna make a whole movie on Johnny, man.
Yeah. So I grew up out here in the 818. I went to Sun Valley Middle School, then I went to North Hollywood High School, and high school years I was just getting caught up. I got more into graffiti, so I was doing graffiti, started doing different drugs and started being out in the street. My dad wasn't around. Mom was working 2-3 jobs. Typical story, you know what I'm saying? Just being caught up here. And then I had a best homie, Walter Galdame, shout out to the homie Walter, who invited me to church, and at the time I needed a community. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what the church was, a community that helped me and just gave me a different view on life and inspired me and encouraged me. And but I knew I had to get out of here. I was just too much going on out here, man. Too much drugs, too much temptation. So then I went to San Jose at this church program that was like a school and discipleship program, and it was like East Side San Jose, which was like the worst part of San Jose. I didn't know, but that's where I was, and that's where I got connected with the church group that was connected with Johnny. And then I stayed there for 4 years. I ended up getting married, and then I came back to LA, and then that's when I connected with Johnny, and we just locked arms and said, let's build together. Let's, I felt a calling towards like making content, I just didn't know what it was exactly, but I felt, I thought I was going to go into ministry, to be honest with you, but then I felt like, nah, this isn't it. Like, this is cool. I respect it. There's a lot of people not doing it right, but there are a few that are. But still, I felt like I had to be doing something different. So when we, when I got back out here, we linked up and we started making short films. We started producing stuff together, and that's what started it. And from there, a lot. I could go off into my first big break was I started working with this group called LMFAO. I don't know if you remember LMFAO. Mm-hmm. I'm Sexy and I Know It, Party Rock Anthem. I pitched the homie Red Foo with the big hair and the glasses. Yeah. I pitched him a documentary I wanted to do, and he loved it. And then he's like, yo, I'm going on my next leg of the world tour. Do you want to go with me and get footage for your documentary? And I'm just like, when are you leaving? He goes, oh, we're leaving Tuesday to like Israel and Turkey. And I'm just like, okay, yeah. And I called my wife right away. I was like, "You're not gonna believe this."
I'm going.
Yeah, right.
So cut to, that started a 2-year journey working with Red Foo of LMFAO, producing all types of different content, and that's how I learned how to produce. I learned how to produce, longer form, short form, different types of series. And after 2 years, we blew through. It was like $1.6 million, and his chief finance officer is like, "You didn't make $1.6 million, so you can't keep this up." And LMFAO had already split, so that kind of ended there. But we had, during that time, I would call Johnny up, "Yo, I got this, we're going to go film in Vegas, or we're going to go film this." And we would just always be producing partners. And he's always been, a mentor, like a father figure to me. You imagine, I went from like church to now LMFAO,
right.
Party rock anthem, going on a world tour. And then I'd be hitting up Johnny like, "Yo, bro, pray for me." You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in the thick of it right now. And then from after that, a startup called Mitu was building. They had just gotten investment, and they hired me to be the head of video to build out a video team reaching the Latino American audience. So that's when I hired some producers, and one of the first videos we did was Cholos Try. And that video was just birthed out of, I was taking screenwriting classes at night, and a screenwriting professor said, contradictions are funny. Anytime you could, contradictions are just more interesting. So then I wrote down some ideas when I was at Me Too. I was like, oh, what if we do like cholos eating like Mexican food, right? I mean, Mexican vegan food. Because the vegan, they'll just clown. We're like, oh, what is this shit? You know what I'm saying? And that was like one of like 5 videos we had lined up, and that one just smacked. That one just like, 30 million views. It was just like, whoa,
Yeah,
we
were
struck
huge.
a nerve, with this one. Then that became a long form series we did with Comcast Watchable. We did 2 seasons. We took the cholos all over the U.S. And I was always doing stuff with Johnny, and Johnny started doing more longer form, and I found more traction in the quick short form video. And then I ended up at BuzzFeed overseeing short form originals, for Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And my whole approach to this has always been like a very studious approach. Like, how do I learn this? My dad was a mechanic, so I was always like, how do I get under the hood and understand this? You know what I'm saying? So I could replicate it, and I could engineer this, over and over. And meanwhile, we're always still partnering, working on stuff. And then now we're finally at a place where it's like, let's take all of this and do it ourselves with Chicano Hollywood.
Yeah.
So that's where now we're locking arms more than ever and being like, we're going to build our own platform.
So the name Chicano Hollywood, did you guys have to think about that for a minute, or?
I'll tell you a story.
Yeah, come on.
Okay, so about a year and a half ago, I was Echo's World. Jeff Reyes, right? He's a producer. He sends, he's a buddy of mine. We've been working together. All of us have been working together for a while. And he sends me an email. Says, "Hey, bro, can you turn this 1-page idea into a script?" Right? And I said, "Oh yeah, let's go, let's do it." So this is right during the 2021, so pandemic time kind of going on, right? So I kicked out to a script. The movie's called Horchata with Oat Milk, and we produced it. So it had Jerry Garcia, had Concrete, had Jay Valentino. Had several others, Anthony Fernandez. That had several others, right? So when we were doing a dialogue meeting, right? The director, LV's amazing director. I've seen some of his recent work, freaking amazing director. So I had the script up on the wall, and he walks up to it, right? And he's looking at it. We're talking about the dialogue, right? Because I'm from the '80s, so I say "cuete," but Duros. I think he said "bam, bang, bang, bang" or
The
something.
banger.
The bang, something
The
like
banger,
that. Right?
yeah.
Yeah. But so we had to go through all that, right? Concrete's from the '90s, so he said something else.
Strap.
Yeah, strap, right?
Hey, I know my gun lingo,
I'm
homeboy.
saying "cuete," right? So we had to get that dialogue nailed in, right? But LB, he's up, the script's up on the wall, and he's smoking a joint, and he just puts this really cool puff of smoke in front of it. I'm like, oh man, that's cool. I said, bro, do it again. He goes up like that. I said, oh, no, I missed it. Do it again. I made him do like 6 or 7 times, right? He's like, I can't no more, right? But that last one had a cool puff. I took the shot, and then I sent that shot to my daughter, who was a senior at Azusa Pacific University at Film School. And I just said, check this out. I'm with Chicano Hollywood. That's where it came from.
That's a great
A joint,
story.
a script, all the homies that were there, I'm with Chicano Hollywood.
Yeah.
So I nicknamed that group Chicano Hollywood, and it was just for fun. I would tell my wife whenever I had a meeting, like, hey, I'm going to go to Chicano Hollywood. She knew who it was. So while we were on the set of Horchata with Oat Milk, everyone there, you had Chicanos in front of the camera, Chicanos behind, you had allies, right? Because when I say Chicano, it's Chicano culture. So whether it's, Salvadorian, Guatemalan, Albert's Guatemalan, right? So,
Honduras,
but it's Chicano culture.
Honduras and Guatemala.
Shout out to Honduras, my boy.
Shout out to Honduras, right? So it's culture.
Yes.
I tell people Snoop Dogg's Chicano because he likes lowriders, Pendletons, and he likes street
Coronas.
tacos. Yeah. Coronas especially.
Coronas, right?
He likes that check, right?
And the marijuana.
Yeah. So out of that set, I saw how everyone just gravitated towards it, right? So I said there's something here. So I got the socials going. I trademarked the name. I got the website, the domains, and all that. And I just started shouting people out. And this is where it got interesting because all I would do is shout out to Alberto Portillo for this. Shout out to Fabian Almar for this. Shout out to so. And I would just do that right over and over again. And I could just how people it was just growing organically. And little by little, it just grew. So from March 11th to about August on Instagram, we had about 2,000, right? Maybe 2,500. But I connected it to Facebook, and I wasn't paying attention to Facebook. I should have, but I wasn't. But it would just go automatically. So when I saw in August, like, it's like 2,000 people. That's cool. Let me check Facebook, and it was like 12,000.
Nice.
And all the comments on Facebook were like, "We need more Chicano sitcoms. How come we don't have more Chicano A-listers?
Yes.
We need more Chicano shows, right?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" And I would notice that on Instagram, those were the players. We had people like big people in like the studios. Ben Lobato, he's the showrunner for Queen of the South, Chicano guy from San Diego, right? Ben is hitting me up. "Hey man, this is awesome. We have our own platform." Ben Bray, Abe Martinez, many others that are big, at the high studio level, and they're Chicanos. Like, man, finally we got our own platform, right? So I saw that on Instagram we had the players, and on Facebook we have the audience. So now our numbers are about 50,000 total. We're about 70 away from hitting 10,000. I'm hoping your audience will help us.
They will. They got
Follow us on Instagram if you're not. Let me hit 10,000 tonight.
That'd be great.
Yeah, but that's where it came from. So it was an organic thought based on the stuff that we like to have fun with, right? And it was a mixture of smoking a joint with Hollywood entertainment professionals, and it just grew because the number one thing was there was this identity with our success. People wanted yes, I'm a filmmaker, but I'm a Chicano filmmaker.
Right.
And it just grew organically. So that's where it came from. So it's nothing like we sat around like, let's figure out
brainstorming.
So
Yeah.
Chicano Hollywood is now a production company?
So
what it is now?
So we're officially Chicano Hollywood Enterprises. And then we have Chicano Hollywood Digital Media, which Albert oversees. We have Chicano Hollywood Originals. Originals are going to be like a lot of the stuff that we create. Anything that we create ourselves is going to be in our stories, in our voice, with our faces. That's where we're going to create A-listers. If I ask people all the time, name me 10 Chicano A-listers, not Latino, Chicano. It's always the same ones. Mario Lopez, shout out to Mario. Shout out to George Lopez. Shout out to Evelyn Longoria.
Trejo.
Shout out to Danny Trejo, especially. Shout out to
what's the name from the Mayans?
Emilio
Rivera.
Yeah. I mean, it's
always
as you start getting,
ones.
it's getting hard to go past 10, and we need to change that because we have the talent, man.
Gil's coming out on a movie as a Chicano teacher.
I'm a Chicano teacher in that
You
movie.
gotta watch tomorrow's episode.
Sense, dude. He'd be like a coach.
So he'll be the new name on the.
Yeah. He'll be number 11. Yeah. So,
Watch out, Mario Lopez.
Watch out. Gil's coming on board.
6-pack coming up. But that's what I'm saying, though. So to me, it's like we have the talent within our community, and not just that, we have the audience. There's 40 to 50 million of us in the U.S. Out of the 60 million Latinos, the majority is Chicano culture people, and we should, within our own, be able to lift up our
support
and build our own A-listers. There's people within our network I know that's so freaking talented. Anthony Fernandez, one of the most phenomenal actors. Sonia Balcazar, she just executive produced her first short film. From what I saw, it's amazing, So to me, it's like we have the talent within us. There's Deanna Molay, there's Jeff Reyes, all these people that within our own we can build, and we don't need anyone's permission.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it.
We don't need to knock on.
So being today, seeing that your Chicano Hollywood is a production company, but you have to go to a studio so they can finance you guys, right?
Well, this is what we're trying to change. Yeah,
So,
great question because that was the problem.
Yeah, how do you get into these studios? Because these studios are the ones that runs everything.
Yeah.
You have to go to them first because they own the networks. They own everything.
They own everything. But this is the disruptor side. This is what we change. What I saw was all of us, Albert Mead, Echoes World, everyone that's a Chicano producer. we would have an idea, we'd pitch it, and we were pitching against each other. Like ABC has one slot for Latino content,
Yeah.
CBS has one slot,
Yeah.
Hulu maybe 4 or 5, Netflix a handful, right? So we're competing against each other, right? So it's like, okay, how's that going to change? I know what they want, because a lot of Albert's expertise, he would look back and, he'd be able to peek behind the curtain. It's all about data. Who's watching? That's all they want to know. Who's watching? How long are they watching? So I'm thinking, how is it going to stop? And I knew that the best way for us to get up there, if that was our goal, but the best way is that we just create our own. So we launched our own streaming platform. Just go to your app store, Roku, iOS. So we have our own Chicano Netflix. It's called Chicano Hollywood. So you can look it up right now. You can start following. We just launched it. We did a soft launch a couple of weeks ago. So what that
I signed up
does,
today.
I know. So you're the one. All
Yeah,
right, cool. So I remember a year ago when I first had the idea, and we had a mixer. We let everybody know. I said, this is our vision, this is our plan, and the reason we're doing this is so that you could go to your investors and say, look, we're going to have a streaming platform that's going to distribute this for us. And they will know at least there's going to be something that they can do rather than just stick it on YouTube. There's so much great content on YouTube, but YouTube's a black hole, right?
Yes.
So we built our own. So what we're doing is we're creating our own little economic ecosystem, because even with creating the streaming platform, the digital media, we're doing something with small businesses. Within our own community, there's 10 million Latino businesses in the U.S. We don't need anyone's permission. We just got to put all the pieces together, and that's what our goal is, from Chicano music to movies and TV to digital media, Facebook, Instagram. Right now, we're in semi-talks with Snapchat that we'll do something with them. We're building on TikTok. So that's what we're doing. So we can put all these pieces together so that we have the money to create a film fund that will be able to greenlight people. That's what the goal is.
To be like your own Netflix, to have that fun.
Exactly. We are right now, but to fund it ourselves.
I'm looking at the money part.
Cha-ching.
Right? And I'm thinking, you got your own streaming.
He wants a contract already.
No, and I'm thinking, that ain't cheap.
Yeah, Boo was already talking about
First of all, that's not cheap. You got to have servers. You got to have IT people.
I got all that,
damn.
See the stress? See the stress on my face,
It's stressing me already.
Oh, my God.
I'm thinking about it because
You don't know. My wife knows anyone. My wife knows.
Johnny's really 35 years old.
I just turned 18.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
You got all this server stuff in a garage like Disney started, and,
I have
all these other Google started and all that.
The best way to look at it is kind of like how when Amazon launched their streaming platform,
Yes.
they were just small and they started building up. But they had money though, right?
Yeah.
So we're doing something similar. Now I do have a tech company, so we do have all that established already. We put a lot of money. I got some partners together, so we put like just a bunch of way over 6 figures that we've invested into in my pocket. I have my other partners, so we put a lot of money into it. So we're doing that though because we know that our community is ready for this. To me, there's a Chicano renaissance going on right now.
So this ain't no small time.
No,
this is the real deal, homeboy.
No, yeah, I'm just listening to you talking. I'm just thinking, man, this is a lot of
Boo-boo,
money.
you're on the show. The real deal, homeboy. We gotta plug the show real quick.
Yeah.
We have a masterclass platform as
you
well.
gotta have lawyers on your team.
I have one of my partners is a lawyer. Evie Zavala Law Firm. He's my lawyer.
Right.
So where do you fit in on this?
2 other lawyers that I just brought on as well. So actually, I have 3 lawyers that are working with.
So where does Albert fit in all this thing?
Digital media.
Yeah. I mean,
let me brag real quick. Now between him. A lot of his direction and creative, he's got over 1 billion views on his content he's created or oversaw. So that's why he's the man for this kind of stuff. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, thank you. But at Me Too, I was behind the scenes, just trying to see what worked, what didn't work. I understood digital, and the best stuff we always incubated from social. Cholos try, right? We tried a bunch of videos. This video smacked. We didn't spend much money. It was like $200-300 that we spent to make it. And then from that audience, we knew, okay, there's something here. Let's develop it out into a longer form project. At BuzzFeed, I learned just more how to scale video. How do you make 30, 40 videos a month consistently? And how do you reach 100,000 minutes watched,
right,
consistently? And that's more of what I've been spending the last few years doing, like just a lot of behind the scenes, just like engineering this stuff, and that's why I'm never in front of the camera, and I'm realizing now more than ever, okay, I got to put myself in front of the camera and start help push this stuff. But I've always been a behind the scenes. How do we get to where the audience is? How do we develop an audience? How do we leverage the social platforms? So that's a lot of what I'm doing. So a lot of the projects that we have in development now, from the documentary we're doing with the Gang Life with Fabian Alomar to a scripted comedy series we're doing called Cholo Google.
And those are pretty much originals on your
all
guys'
originals.
All
Those
originals.
will be like Chicano Hollywood originals.
All originals.
That's
yeah.
beautiful,
Exactly.
dude.
Yeah.
That's
Our
dope.
stories, our faces. Our stories, our voice, and our faces.
Yeah, and one thing I'll say too, Johnny was saying this, like we're so ready for it. I saw this at Me Too. It's like our culture is dope. You know, all we got to do is flex. Like, look how dope our food is. Look how dope our music is. Look how dope our style is. Look how dope and amazing our stories of resilience are. You know, it's like all we got to do is flex. You know, it's like, but we don't have a platform to flex. You know, and at Me Too, they did a great job of being at the forefront, you know, but the challenge at Me Too was always like, they wanted to be the Latino experience for everybody. Yeah. But you guys, and I know that, like, Cubans are different than Mexicans are different than Puerto Ricans are different than Central Americans. You get what I'm saying? And if you look at the numbers, it's like 60 million are Latinos, 40 million are Mexican American. Well, why don't you just go after the 40 million Mexican Americans? You know, especially for us when the Cholos Tri hit.
Plus the 10 on top of the Chicano culture. You know?
Yeah, for
50
sure.
million, yeah.
When Cholos Tri hit, the challenge at Me Too was like, oh, well, we don't want to be the Cholo network, and, you know, we're not all the Latino experience is Cholo stuff. And it's true and it's valid, but it's like, well, why not just lean into that and also do other stuff? But there was a hesitancy to do that.
Me Too seemed like they leaned way left and they fell off the cliff because they've got. Not a little bit. They've got. Let's keep it real here.
Not American Cholo.
Not even a little bit, man. Yeah. This platform has like 400,000 followers, and there's a grip of their videos that only got like 500 views.
Yeah.
In 6 months, 9 months, like there's something wrong there.
Yeah. They were they and other similar platforms. They're more into what's called the Latinx voice.
Yeah.
So that's a different voice.
A different voice.
That's not our voice at all. We're the Chicano voice. We're a traditional voice. The Latinx, and I respect them all. That's their thing. No disrespect to them, but it's a whole different voice. I've had people come to me and say, well, you know, so and so is going to launch their own streaming platform, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh man, but they're Latinx. I said, they're not us. And I support them. I'll ally with any other Latino. I don't compete with Latinos at all. But I do know our voice. And that's what happens when if you misunderstand our culture and our community, you're going to miss it big time. You're going to lose a lot of money. But when you get it, we get it. Cholos Tri did 30 million views on that first video because Albert understood the voice. And we know the voice. So that's the number one thing. When you try to edutain our community and try to drift them certain ways that you think your ideology is going to be, you're going to lose money. I'm not trying to edutain anybody. I just want to make them laugh, make them think, scare them. You know, I'm like that, and show them, our stories. We got some cool documentaries. There's a documentary on our streaming platform now called "Parents on a Mission" that we did, and it shows the in-depth stories of prisoners. Most of them that we interviewed were Chicanos.
Who are incarcerated.
Yeah, parents are incarcerated. It was so when we were in prisons all over Colorado and here in California, and we did it with parentsonmission.org. It's a great nonprofit. We're tapping into people, and those are our stories. So that's our voice. That's why those other platforms, respect to them, but if they're the Latinx voice, that's their thing. Ours, we know who we are. We know who we're going after.
We're more street culture.
Yeah.
We're more street culture.
And we're like,
more people,
I tell people, and people will tell me too, like, hey, well, we're not all Cholos. I get it. And I'm not, the big thing is like, we got to change the narrative. We can't always have movies where we're Cholos. To me, if it's my narrative, it's my narrative. Now, if the studio, some non-Chicano guy wants to tell the story, they're going to show a Chicano character one layer, and he's an animal. Mm-hmm. But if I tell the story of my little brother who went and did time, and he was caught up and all that stuff, I'll show the layers of why he became that way and how he was as a little boy. So I tell my story the way I'm going to do it. So if it's my narrative, I'm going to own it, and I'm going to tell it. So I don't want no one outside telling me, let's change it. But no, you don't understand. That's my story. So we're going to do lowrider stuff. We're going to do Cholo stuff. We're going to do all that kind of stuff. But we're also going to do sitcoms and comedies and show us, like, I want to say, we're, all of us are, right? We all have the background, but we're not that way anymore, right? So we're all, professionals here. So we're going to show us as professionals.
Absolutely.
So that's the difference.
So have you thought of the 5-year plan, I guess I'm going to say it, is because you can only go so far with Chicano stuff. Then you're going to hit a platform.
A plateau.
Yeah, sorry, plateau. You're gonna hit a plateau. Then what are you gonna do after that? You're gonna go into other cultures, or
no? I think I'll always embrace all Latinos, right? So we're not competing with Latinos, right? But I think there's so many stories within us. Again, not everything's gonna be Chulito or that, right? But so there's general audience, what I call general audience, sitcoms that we could do. There's dramas we could do. There's police, Law and Order type of stuff.
Yeah.
So honestly, there's no limit for us right now because just pigeon it into one little just lowrider type of cholosa, which we will do, but there's all the other genres, all the other thrillers. There's sci-fi, right? I got Chicano writers like, dude, I have this sci-fi idea, and I have sports stories, all that kind of stuff. Chef stories, reality series. You have right now we're developing a reality series with the Garcia family, and they're beautiful family. Christian Garcia, little guy. His story, his family, beautiful. So we're doing a reality series with those guys, right? So it's all reality.
Reality show on us.
Yeah. Dude, you guys here.
This is our first reality show.
Joe Rogan's over here.
There you go.
Yeah. So I don't think there's a limit. And what's funny too is like remember when this fool came out on Hulu. Like shout out to Chris Estrada. He broke.
Great job. Great job. Both those gentlemen. Great job.
Awesome. And Frankie. But I got so many texts, right? Like, man, they stole my story. I'm like, dude, we all have that same story. We all know someone that was in prison that's coming out right now, especially when all in the 90s,
everybody's coming out now.
Everybody's coming out. So there's a lot of stories that need to be told, So I don't think we're ever going to cap it. What's going to happen in 5 years? The Illuminati's probably going to come after us because we're controlling the majority of the U.S.
You'll have Kanye talking about you. Johnny controls Hollywood.
They won't be able to control us. That's the problem. So, they're going to come after us. But other than that,
how does someone just ask right now? How do you submit, or how do they get a hold of you if they want to submit like screenplays or anything like that?
If they're in LA, pues
knock on my door.
Tacos, cafecito. Man, I have meetings all the time. So if they're on info@chicanohollywood.com. That's my email. Follow us on
IG. Follow them on IG. There you go.
I'm the one that does it. So I had people say, man, well, who does your Instagram? Is this someone that's professional? I'm like, no, it's me, bro.
Yeah.
It's me. So it's not that good,
9 p.m. to 12
man. Right before I came here, I posted this video. This is from Cisco and their podcast that they put together in Two Fools. And they did it. It was amazing podcast that they do and all that stuff. But the clip of I had, man, I'm like, when I put up on Facebook, I said, don't get distracted from my panza. I mean, what do you do?
I said,
I mean,
that's why we got this right here.
Listen to the message, But right now, I mean, I got a solid team. Albert oversees all that other stuff. On IG, you can always reach me. info@chicanohollywood.com. Email, you can reach me. So if you're outside, just email me. And now when you're pitching stuff, understand it's not like we can say, okay, we're gonna do it tomorrow. It doesn't work that way, right?
Have patience.
A long process. So the best thing to do is connect with us. Now, exciting thing that's happening right now is that our network is building. So this is a first that I'm kind of like just seeding this announcement right now. But we're going to be developing network sites. So I've had conversations going on in San Jose. I have a Chicano Hollywood in San Jose, one in El Paso.
Oh man! All right.
So we're
You're making different cliques, homie.
Cliques. We want to do one in Phoenix. We want to do one in Albuquerque. So and it's all about. If we can establish a base over there, part of it is that we can take our people from here, take them over and train, and we train people from digital media, how to create a viral video to how to produce all that kind of stuff so that they do it right. Houston, there's De Leon Films that we have just talked to. He's in Houston. So there's others that we're trying to cultivate this network so that we can have bases all over, primarily so that we can train. We have to build our platform up. We have to build our community up.
Yes.
So that's, I'm trying to formulate everything right now, how I'm going to make that work and all that. But that's the growth that we're looking into. So 2023 is going to be super busy, and I will be super stressed. But if our people are growing, if I can get one more person out of the gangs into production or something like that,
absolutely,
it's like, let's do it,
Absolutely.
So being a pastor or an ex-pastor or still pastor, you still got your doctorate?
No, I don't. I turned in my credentials in 2009. It was a tough situation, but my denomination, every year you have to re-sign the application saying that you'll behave, right?
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
God loves me no matter what.
2009. I tried, and I had to went to the mailbox. I was about to pop it in, and I couldn't. I went back, then the late time came, then the extra late, date came. And then I just felt like God saying, where you're going, this ain't going to help.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm not officially a pastor anymore. Do I still pastor people? Yes. Do I still preach? If I get invited, no one invites me anymore. But anyways, yes, I still do.
So my question is, Passion of the Christ. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's probably one of the most real movie.
Powerful.
Yeah, powerful movie there is in the Christian faith.
Yeah.
but there's 66 books. That's only one book with Matthew.
Yeah.
I mean, you got 65 more books you could write on.
Oh, there's so much.
Have you thought about, some of them are like really horrifying.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, you could do a horror movie on this
Oh,
stuff.
dude, I have an idea. Matthew 28 talks about when Jesus went into the tomb, that the righteous rose from the dead, and for 40 days you're talking zombies walking around Jerusalem. So I've always wanted to do that zombie Jerusalem movie.
Yeah.
And it's right there in the scripture. You know,
I could be a Chicano Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Who was pitching for himself right now?
That's the third pitch. That's the third pitch.
Yeah.
Passion of the beard.
But yeah, faith-based stuff. I love faith-based stuff.
Yeah.
It's funny because you would think that would be my thing.
Yeah.
It's really, I have never done a faith-based long form, which is like movies or TV, but I've done a zillion short form like commercials and PSA. So there's a company ministry called JesusCares.com. I do all of their media, and through that alone, if you go to JesusCares.com, you see the stuff that we create. We probably had reached, literally, they have the data, like over millions of people have heard the message, and 2021 they were audited, and they had 1.2 million people follow the trail from watching it down to the chat room down to a church. 1.2 million actually gave their life to the Lord, and that was just 2021, I believe. So I've been doing them for since 2015. Me and Saul Rodas from Rodas Studios, and we've hit a lot. So that I thank God for that partnership I have with them, because that's my church outreach that I can do. You know, I go to church. I go to Fearless LA, downtown in LA, and so I'm still really plugged into the church there, but just as a helper.
As far as like a content creator, what's the incentive for them to go to your platform, and then also how are they gonna see a return? Because I'm sure right now it's at the infancy stage. How do they see a return on them coming onto your platform?
Yeah. So if you have long form content, so a movie, a TV series, a podcast, and we have some short form on there as well. So a series we did with Snapchat, right? So what we're doing now, because it's beginning stages, I do have ads dropping in. So to me, I tell everybody, download the app. I don't care if you're busy. Turn your TV on and let it run. Put the volume down if you're busy, right? Just let it run, because the algorithm picks up who's watching and drops in commercials. So we've had like Burger King and Spectrum. You saw Kim Kardashian commercial. So ads are dropping in on phones and all over the platform, right? So it's important that people watch the content, or at least put it on. So what we're doing now is just a 50-50 ad revenue split. So I tell filmmakers, if you got a brand new movie you just made, you need to get your money back. Don't come to me right now. Fair enough. Exploit it. Yeah. But if you have something that you've done, it's on YouTube, then take it off of YouTube, stick it on ours. Now the content that we have on there now, it's great content that no one's, a lot of people haven't seen yet. We got Peter Bollinger. I love this guy. He's not Chicano on the outside. On the inside, he is, right. He was from Santa Ana. He's one of those, just a homie, and he's made several movies that he told me, he's like, dude, I have 3 features for you right now, and I'll get you another one as well. So I got Kilroy on there, which I think that was one of the movies that launched out Steve Villegas, and Wilson. He's on that one. There's others that are on there. So the movies that are on there now, the features that are on there now are great movies. They're great stories. We have Guillermo Ivan. He's like the Brad Pitt of Mexico, but he's crossed over now, and he's so he's a good homie of mine. He was in a movie that I just produced a couple years ago, so he's put his stuff on there, and so we have a lot of other stuff. We have short films, we have animation from Fliplandia, we have documentaries that we've done and stuff like that. So there's a lot. So right now I tell them all, if you're joining now, it's because you want to grow with us. I even have a series on there saying grow with us, right? And it's all about saying just lock in now. It's a 50-50 ad revenue split. Only 12 months. And then I tell them, dude, if you somehow get some distribution deal and they're like, hey, it has to be exclusive, text me. I'll shut it down right now and tell them it's exclusive. I don't care. I mean, I'm for the filmmaker, because I'm a filmmaker too. So the biggest thing is, as we grow and build, I see who's with me in the beginning, and I'm like, okay, when the film funds come in, okay, let's work together now. Here, I have an original we're going to do. You're going to produce it for me to work for hire. You have an idea. You have some resources. I have resources. We'll co-produce. So it's all about growing and building together. So right now we're starting low, but I say, look, if you want your stuff on off of YouTube and on a platform, then go with us. Because we're building. So that's how it's working right now. Yeah.
How do you guys keep up your quality control out there, or are you just kind of letting anybody in right now?
The bar's really low.
I gotta ask.
One of these days.
I gotta ask.
One of these days we'll have a Chicano Avatar. You know, right now, Avatar's a hot movie that's out now. That's coming out, right? That's a multi-billion-dollar movie. One of these days. But right now it's like, you know, I'll tell you this story. A young Chicano filmmaker. He sends me an email. He says, "Hey, I have this short film I did. It's called The Lost Dog, and you can see it on our platform." And he says, "You know, would it qualify to be on your platform?" And I looked at it, and it's a cool little short film. Has a really cool story at the end, right? So it's good, but it's a short film. You could tell it's very, very low budget production. But I'm a filmmaker. I know what it takes to write a script. I know what it takes to train actors. I know what it takes to get your cameras out and angles and get locations. And this little guy, this little homie, young homie, just hits me up about it. I could say no, and he'd stick it on YouTube. And I would be just like Netflix, Hulu, and all these other guys that would tell him no because they're not going to take it. But I'm going to take it. I'm going to put it up there because he is a young Chicano filmmaker that we need to keep our eye on because he's going to grow. So I'm like, yeah, bro, let's bring it. Let's bring it.
We have a chance.
Yeah, you do.
American Cholo reality show. We're there, man. We just gotta walk over the pole, dog.
Well, I'll take your baby pictures, bro. I'll take anything. But yeah, so to me, we're great quality movies with great production value on there now, and but there's gonna be those categories where people that will never have a shot, I'm going to give them a shot. And we're going to build our streaming platform where we have 5-10 million people following us. Mm-hmm. And they're going to be like, well, what's this category? Well, that's for the new guys that are coming up. And I want to make sure I build underneath them, not step on them.
Are you putting them in the mix with everybody else? Or are you?
Oh, right now, yeah. Yeah. But it's all broken up into genres, right? So we're going to create a genre. That's going to be new filmmakers to watch. And they'll be like whatever. If like this particular one's drama, so it'll be drama plus new filmmakers to watch, you know. So but right now when you look at it now, you'll see it's all categorized into genres. And then we'll develop more as well. I also want to do like there's several production companies like Wolfpack Pictures, which is Joe Chacon. He has several shorts on there. So I'm going to create a genre that's just his with multiple content so people go straight to his stuff. We're talking to Lone Star Entertainment right now, so what would be, his, that kind of stuff. So we want to build each other. It's all about filmmakers being able to say, look, there's my stuff right there so that they can raise money from their investors. And we got some reciprocation going on, Now, on the other side, I'm talking to Henry Priest right now. Henry's homie, right, from Ball Heights. He's a Chicano guy. He is in what I call the general audience market. So he has the biggest film festival in the city. He had over 30,000 people come to his film festival last September, right? So Henry's a great guy. So him and I are talking. So we're going to come to an agreement where he's going to bring all of his movies. So he's going to bring about 20 feature films that we're going to start bringing on, and series. He's got the plugs with some big players, and he's like, dude, yeah, I'll bring them all. Just so great. So I'm like excited because our platform's going to really blow up on content and so on. So that's why we're like, okay. 2023 is going to be stressful, but that's where we're at right now. But so to answer it, yes, the bar's low, not because our quality, but it's because we want to make sure the door is open for people that are trying to get in. Now, if it's terrible.
Yeah, of course not. Go home.
Yeah. Keep it on YouTube. Yeah. So I have said no to some people, but for the most part.
Okay, it's good. It's good you said no. Well, what happens a lot of times is somebody who's new to it may want to go watch and they see some and they catch one of those low bar ones and be like, oh, no, this ain't for me. And I think that could happen.
But you know what? There will be haters like that,
Oh, there's haters even in good movies, though.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So anything you build, someone's going to critique it, and so I'm not worried about that.
But don't you see that a lot in our community where there's shows like Hentified and some of those, and are they perfect? Are they exactly? No, but no family's perfect. Nothing's ever exactly the way we want to see it. But at least it's like, man, that show's on there.
Yeah, and that's a problem. That we do have that problem within the Latino community.
Yes.
And when studio level pops up some new series, we should support it.
Yeah.
The other thing though is if it's not content that we want to watch with our kids, they're not going to watch it, So you got to be real careful about that kind of stuff too, because not everyone, especially if it's in that woke ideology.
Yeah, that's the problem with that. Yeah.
That's what shuts it off. If you look at the content on what shows got canceled, they have certain things in common, and a lot of it is that I'm not going to watch that with my kids, and it has a lot to do with some controversial things, and support to every community, but it is what it is. Sometimes the woke ideology is not good for business.
Well, I think what it is we're not used to having that Latino Chicano family. Maybe like the last one was probably the George Lopez show.
Yeah.
Right. But if they really made the George Lopez show, even though he has a new one coming out, but if they really made the George Lopez show now, they would make either his son gay or his daughter lesbian. They would have him kissing and like, wait a minute. No, let us get the family thing going first. Let us get it in there. Let the audience come in there. Maybe try to.
And the thing about that too is that it's like I get it. And I don't hate on any of that community. That's we respect any adult.
Absolutely.
But when you have kids coming out like that and they put the character as a kid, that's where parents are going to be like, oh, no. And even if they're dealing with that in their household, that's such a private issue. They want to make sure that let it be dealt with in the household, in the family, the privacy. So with the show it on content, it's something that for the most part, a lot of our traditional audience that has a lot of the Catholic, Judeo-Christian values, they're gonna push against it, So it's gonna get canceled, I mean, it's not gonna work, So that's about, and I get what they're doing. They have their agendas, they have all that stuff. That's cool. I have my agenda. My agenda is the Chicana voice. Yeah. That's it, and I want them to respect mine, and I respect theirs, But and I'm not, we're not putting no bad vibes on anyone, but I'm real focused on who we are. We're Chicana, and that's what we're doing.
So if I could chime in.
Yeah, for sure.
Coming more from like a data perspective, coming from digital, which I like, is like digital and Netflix, all those are digital platforms, as a lot of these social platforms. It's all about retention. It's like if people aren't watching it and if people are clicking into it and clicking right out, then the content isn't good. And if you look at how algorithm works, all algorithms work the same. It's like if people click into it and they stay, then the algorithm's going to surface it. If people click into it and don't stay, then the algorithm's going to bury it. So at the end of the day, you just have to make stuff that people want to click into, and you have to structure it in a way that people want to stay. And that's really it. Numbers don't lie. And that's how I'm approaching it. Very data driven. So it's like the stuff that we're cooking up now, the new stuff, it's very much leaning into a lot of data in regards to, hey, this has some signal. We've done a short form version of it. It got millions of views. Now we're going to structure it so, hopefully it has great retention. So at the end of the day, that's the way I look at it. It's like if the content's good, then it's going to hold people's attention regardless of your agenda, and that's more of like, I think eventually we'll have our algorithm surface on our app the stuff that has the best retention, the stuff that people are actually watching and sticking around to actually watch. And that's what I've learned from short form or digital platforms.
But that's what it's all about nowadays. It's about
all
those
data.
numbers.
It's all data. Really, these guys don't even, the bigger streaming platforms, they don't look at the content. They just like, where's the numbers at? Who's watching? How many people? And when do they stop?
How much dope are we selling?
That's all it is.
And how high are they getting for how long?
That's
what they want to see.
So we're going to approach it professionally. Part of it too is like, we got to build a business platform that we can put food on the table of our filmmakers.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're going to do. We have to approach it that way. Now I'm big on like, okay, if you have this passion and dream, but you got to skill yourself. And then we created what's called our Masterclasses. So our Masterclasses is created with the intention of training people. So I have producers, I have writers, I got big players on there that are teaching their skills and craft. So if someone does come up with me with something that's super low, I'll be like, bro, I love it. It's cool. You started. You got a passion. Take some classes. Let me train you. How can I train you?
How much are those classes?
So you can go right now, because it's gonna go up.
Right now, the December special.
Right now, go to our website, ChicanoHollywood.com, and look on the top, the page that says Masterclasses. $59, and you get access to all 18 or 17 or 18 classes right now for the whole year, right? So it's all right there.
Is it all online?
It's all online right now, and we're gonna add more. When I hit 20, my business managers always said we got to hit that up to $97. So the idea is to get at least 500 to 1,000 classes, not just entertainment, but we're gonna do how to start a small business, how to there's a homie out there in San Diego that he does succulents. I wanted him to do a master class, how to upholster a car. We're losing the art of creating and building lowriders. So the Ortega brothers, they're big on tuck and roll and all the interior, right? So we're going to do a class on that. So all those kind of things, how to do stand-up comedy, all that kind of stuff. So those are on there now. So if you lock in right now, you get it all for a year, and we're going to keep growing. So, but that's it. So it's not like we're just going to close the door. It's going to be like, okay, you're not here yet, but let me help you get here. And that's our heart behind it, So we want to build.
And that's what I say about Johnny. His heart is always about people, and that's where it's like he leans on the side of grace. Even when people submit stuff that's like kind of mediocre, he's just more like graceful.
Let me be the guy, Johnny. Reject. 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 This is garbage. Reject. I'll get my big cigar and reject that. Hey, Gil, we got no content. We got us, Johnny. We got us.
That's all we need.
Show canceled.
Yeah.
Shit.
But that, to me, like, that's our mission. We have to build people. To me, I mean,
it's a beautiful thing you guys are doing. It's really, John. It's a beautiful thing. It's a thing that you're actually doing what people talk about, or people always say, we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to build it, and they will come. Well, you're building it. Yeah. Now let's see if they will come, and they better come.
Yeah. That's what we're believing. They're coming now. We have an amazing network of filmmakers, dude. I get texts and IG messages all freaking day, and I feel bad because I can't get them all, right? Especially if I'm working on something. But we have so many people do. Thank you so much, and so they're coming. Like I know that there's people out there in our network right now. They have the potential to be at the top. The top isn't going to come down and pick them up. No. We have to build underneath them.
Yes, sir.
There's the Four Ways Entertainment. Awesome producers. There's, of course, Echoes World. He's a homie, right? Awesome producers. Kaden Phoenix from the Chicana Directors Initiative. She's freaking beautiful. Her passion, her skills, she's all about training Chicana directors. I mean, I don't even qualify to be in her thing, right? But she's all about. So I'm all about her, right? So there's others. So it's not just us alone. There's others that are doing this. So we're trying to lock arms, because if we don't do it, they're not going to do it for us. Right. That's it.
Absolutely.
And to me, we're like I said earlier, we're in a Chicano renaissance, and we have to embrace that. People always, back in the day, we're going to do a documentary on this too, and my daughter's going to get mad that I say it because someone's going to probably take it. But there's a document that we're going to create. I know, write it down.
Let me write this down real quick.
On all these.
Let me write this down real quick.
Cell phone out. But there's so many Chicano, Latino talent that are veteranos, right? That they had to come in, they had to change their name, right? They had to, there's like Anthony Quinn, who was Antonio Quiñones, right? So many more, right? There was the dude, one of my favorite TV shows, Psych. What's his name? The main guy on Psych. It's a detective show. He's a psychic detective and all that. I forgot his name, but he's
Benjamin Pratt. You got a bunch of people.
All these dudes, right? They changed the name. So
Richie Valens.
Yeah, they all have to do that. So
Freddie Fender.
Yeah, those days are over.
Yeah.
Those days are over. To me, it's like the number one asset you have is your skin color and your last name. That's where we're at right now. So we are in the beginning of a Chicano Renaissance. Run with who you are. Run with how God designed you, because that's the only way you will fulfill your purpose, is if you run with how God designed you, with the gifts He gave you, with the skin color He gave you, with the last name He gave you. Doesn't matter what kind of hell you've been through in the past. Where you're at right now is what matters.
Preach it, Johnny. Hello. Preach it, baby. Preach it, Johnny.
I'm a preacher.
I'm pick up an offering.
Get the head out, baby.
Download the app.
So how do people help?
Well, number one way, okay, this is what we're developing now. So number one way is, follow us on social media. That's number one. And tell your friends, follow these fools. Just follow us, right? Facebook, Instagram,
put the number up, Chris.
YouTube, which YouTube we're barely developing, and soon Snapchat. Follow us there. TikTok. And then download our streaming app. Please do that right away. Just download it. We got to hit those numbers. When we hit 10,000, brands are going to keep running to us, and that's what we got to hit, that 10,000 mark. We're close. We're not close. We're going to hit about 1,000 here.
How long have you been opening it up for?
About 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. So we got to hit 10,000.
I got to download it.
Yeah,
please.
I'm
going to download it. You'll see me post it on my Instagram as soon as I download it.
Just for you though, bro. Let me tell you what I'm going to do too. Once we get the funding and all that, I'm going to put in all those old Pedro Infante movies. Remember?
That's me, brother.
So I already have those negotiated. So we are going to
really
put those all Spanish.
Those are
I'm going to have Spanish también, So we were raised with that, and I love those, right? So download the app. And then we're going to develop, once we hit 10,000 on Instagram, we'll be able to do subscriptions, and we can do that on Facebook too. And just once we launch that, subscribe to us. It might cost you $2.99. I know that's like a lot for a lot of budgets, but
that's a tall boy, man. That's a tall boy. Come on, that's a fucking tall boy. You guys can afford a tall boy.
Pitch in. Just pretend like you're buying us a drink. That's it.
That's right.
And what you're doing is, out of our 50,000 followers now, we can just get a portion of those subscribing, whether on IG or Facebook. that gives us the funding to basically it puts gas in the car. We have an amazing infrastructure. We have our streaming app, our digital media. We have our Masterclasses. We have our live events that we do, all that stuff. We have all that. We're going to launch a, ¿te acuerdas como QVC was? You know how QVC was?
Yeah, of course.
White women selling white products to white women, right?
Of course.
It's okay. We're going to do a Latino one. And it's going to be...
That's a great idea.
Get our we have influencers that we've already shot 6 videos. We're putting those together now. We're going to launch in 2023. So it's all about small businesses being able to use some of their marketing dollars so that we can help build them up as well. So we have an amazing infrastructure. We just need people to say, okay, I'm down with these guys. And this is the key. Grow with us.
Yes.
Don't come on and say, there's nothing. I had some fool gave us 3 stars on Roku, like 5 months ago before we launched. There's no content on there. I'm like, it's not even public yet, you know? We're just talking about it. Yeah. So give us a great rating and just grow with us, because I know with our family coming together, you know, I said this the other day that this movement, it's not a business, this movement will only be historical if we do it together.
Yes, sir.
That's it. And this is what we're doing. It's a movement. And soon, before we die, the Latinos will probably be the majority in the U.S.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So this is the beginning to build. So to me, it's like we're there. So to me, the best way, get behind us. You know, and it's simple. Just buy us a drink once a month.
That's it. That's a tall boy, brother.
That's
a tall boy. All right, if anybody wants to call in right now, ask Johnny Alberto a question. The number is up there, 818-538-9330, 818-538-9330. And it's not going to cost you nothing to call right now. Yeah. It's less than a fans only page, man.
Only fans.
Data rates may apply.
Hey, did you watch the Black Panther movie?
Not yet.
No.
That was pretty good.
I thought it was good. There was people saying all kind of crazy stuff. I was like, man.
There's always going to be haters. Always going to be haters. You know, my first thing is like, hey, people were working. They put food on their table. So I'm down with that, you know. But I need to see it. And I guess I can go on there and you know, but to me, I'm weak at criticizing movies. I'm always like, man, that was good. You know? So I'm like, right? Don't ask me for criticism, because I'll be, oh man, I loved it. You know, so
you see all the hard work behind it.
I went in there looking to criticize because I heard a bunch of people that went. I was like, all right. It wasn't the greatest movie in the world, but it was. I had nothing to really criticize.
That Lupita girl, right? She was born and raised in Mexico or something like that, right?
Jay, what's going on, brother?
How you guys doing over there? I'm seeing the podcast, man. I love what I'm hearing.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Super dope.
You got a question for the gentleman?
Yes, I do. Since he's talking about the app and everything like that, I was wondering, how does he feel about George Lopez? Is he going to add him there or anything like that with the whole controversy that's going on with Paul Rodriguez?
Well, okay, that's a great question, because people need to know, right? So, Chicano Hollywood, we own the brand Latin Keys Comedy. So we bought that brand from Paul Rodriguez. Really? Paul Rodriguez is a partner of us, you know. So George Lopez is on the app, because on the original Latin Keys Comedy, he's on there already, you know. So I don't, you know, dude, I'm gonna be the Switzerland of Hollywood, right? Because to me, I know there's drama, and there's like, I'm noticing now there's different camps and stuff, but I'm big on, dude, just, you know, move forward, forgive, or whatever might have happened. I don't, you know,
or just get down and let's get it over with.
Yeah, that's always easy too, right? So to me, it's like I'm down with all of them. Like Lopez versus Lopez is out. Me and my family watch that show. We support it. We want, you know, we shouted it out. Paul Rodriguez is a homie, right?
Yeah,
I've been to his house. I got a lot of his videos in my house right now, you know. So he's a homie. So to me, I'm like, no, let's keep building. I know there's little tensions here and there, but we're gonna be neutral, because we want to build everybody up. And I, especially those that have been around Paul, George, Danny, all these others, Noel, Manny Jimenez, all these dudes that have been working hard. Ken Castillo, right? I'm trying to pop them all off my name, but all these guys have been working hard in Hollywood when they didn't have this kind of support. They went through racism. The doors are closed in their face. They never got meetings and everything like that. So I have so much respect for them, you know. And I have a lot of respect for George, because look what he's done. He had a series going in the general market. I think it was on ABC, right? Yeah, ABC. So he broke ground. You know, this fool broke ground for us. So to me, I respect anybody. If they got beef, they could take it outside. Inside, we're gonna have tamales.
That's right.
You know? That's how I look at it.
Well, what about behind the scenes with everything going on that he says he supports us and everything? He comes out on TV saying that, but behind the scenes he's holding Raza down. Like he's like, you can't do this if I don't get a check out of it. Like, you know, like, I mean, it's deeper than just on TV.
Yeah,
what he's doing behind the scenes.
Yeah, and I guess the biggest thing would be, this is how I am. If I, like I said, I've never met him, so I don't know him personally.
Fuck that puto.
You know, yeah.
Let's keep it real, homie.
So,
George don't like me anyway.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that.
Yeah. But that's cool. I mean, to me, it's like I get all that. I honestly, dude, I'm in the comedic scene because we own the Latin Kings of Comedy, so I'm around a lot of comedians, a lot of Chicano.
We're on Paul's
right?
side over here.
Yeah. So, and I know a lot of guys. They all work together, and there's, like I said, there's different camps, and one thing you'll never find from me is hating on someone. And not just, I'm not saying that you are, anyone is, but I can't do that. It's just not in my nature to do that, because to me, if they have a past, if they made some mistakes, if they've done something, I can't throw stones. So maybe I've done that. I might have. And right now in my last, hopefully 30, 40 years of life, right, I don't want to step on people, I want to build them up. So did George do that? Did Paul do that? Do they do that? I'm sure
they both did a little bit of each. Yeah, I'm sure they both did a little bit.
But I hope they work it out one day. But to me, it's like I'm gonna keep building everybody.
Yeah, I got some Latino homies that are
thanks for the call, brother.
Yeah, I got some Latino homies that are working on the new show, the new Lopez show, Omar Ponce. So I think George Lopez is still creating opportunities.
Oh, no,
I don't know too much of the details, to be honest with you. But from what I'm seeing, like, I got homies that are super excited because he's helping putting them on,
I'm sure.
another level.
Jerry Garcia was just on the last one.
Yeah, we got homies that.
So
I can't say that he's putting Raza down. At least from what I'm seeing, he's helping Raza, get to the next level in traditional television.
No, but I will say this though, I'm making this up because I'm just thinking this could have happened. But back in the day when all those guys were starting, right, in their 80s, well, Paul's been around longer, or they all came up around the same time.
Paul was bigger when George was coming up.
Understand, there was the ladder that they had to climb was tough.
Yes,
and there's no doubt that there might have been some elbows because they're all trying to climb to the top, right? No doubt. That's why the environment when they were all younger was different than the environment now. Now we're freaking embrace each other. This is our strength.
Well, a lot of them were assholes when they were younger. As they're coming up, you're a young guy. You got money. I get it. When I say fuck that, I'll bust George's balls, right?
Yeah.
But I think they're young, and I could see Paul being the higher guy, George coming up, and you're the lead guy. Like, fuck this guy. Like, I'm doing my thing. And same thing with Mencia. They all had their turn at it, and at this point. Yeah, they should kind of be like, you know what, it is what it is, but that's the problem with us a lot of times.
That's the problem. Yeah, we don't forgive.
Our egos, our pride, that Chicano pride. Fuck that puto.
I was talking to someone. I was on the phone with someone yesterday. They were asking me about some other filmmaker had caused some offense, right, some other situation, and he said, "Look, I'm telling you, but I don't know. Should I go and blast this guy out?" And I said, no, man, let it go. Let it go. Mm-hmm. If there was an unrighteousness that happened, then let the Lord defend you. If you try to do it yourself, all it does is create this revenge spirit inside of you. And then that's what's driving you.
Yes.
So to me, it's like, man, forgiveness. Yeah, forgiveness is the number one key to get your freedom so you can grow. Mm-hmm. If you're still holding on to these boulders, I mean, it's tough. So to me, it's like, let it go, man.
And even with this stuff, dude, I've had my issues of being upset and all that. And what I go to church every once in a while, but I definitely support them all the time. Victory Outreach here in North Hollywood. And one thing that I heard a few months ago, and I've taken it, I live my life like that now, especially with the podcasting. Take the higher road. Mm-hmm. Just take the higher. I know you want to get pissed off. You want to cuss somebody out. You want to, just take the higher road, because later on in life, when they're passing by you, they can't sit there and say shit about you. They can't. It's because they're still holding on to those boulders.
Yeah, man.
And trying to be upset at life. It's like, take the higher road. You'll move.
Yep. Anger and revenge never helps anybody, especially you. If you're holding it, it just doesn't work. So we're not designed that way. So the best thing is forgive. Now, it doesn't mean you have to forget. You learn lessons. Yes. So this fool burned me in business. I'm gonna forgive him, but I'm never gonna give him my checkbook again. Yeah, so I mean, I was in the construction business for a minute. Man, you know that business. So I built out the Ritz-Carlton in Vail. I built out the Macy's in Chandler Mall and all that. So I did those. That level. You're working with some dirty people.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So we won and we lost, but in the midst of that, I just like let it go, because I have to move forward. Mm-hmm. If I bring all those people on my back, I ain't going nowhere. then just let them go.
Yeah, I got, man, I could count how many people owed me money, this and that. And then people are like, why don't you, like, fuck them up? What am I going to do? How am I going to crack this fool's skull?
$20?
Yeah. Or, no, a few, let's say grand. You know, when you do construction, you're talking about thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars. But what am I going to do? Go crack this fool's skull in? I'll be in prison for a few years. I got mine. I lost my house. I lost my wife. I lost everything. But I got mine.
And it happens in this industry. I mean, I just shot something not too long ago. I mean, just this past weekend. And I remember my camera crew and all that. I had brought them on the first time I was working with them. And, shout out, they did a great job. But they did not want to leave set at the end until they got paid. And I said, dude, they didn't know me. It don't work that way, right? Yeah. But I understood the reason why it was, and I didn't know this the weekend before, that they got burned bad, right? So I said, look, don't worry, you're going to get taken care of. So I made sure they got paid the next day.
Yeah.
And now, what are they? My best friends. They want to work with you all the time, So because they know. So even in this industry, people I'm owed thousands of dollars in this industry, right? Thousands, but it's like I can't think about that. I have to keep moving forward.
That's also a reason that a lot of times, let's say regular Hollywood would not want to work with a lot of Chicano type people that are doing shit like that, Cholo type that. I want my money. Like, I think when I had Manny Jimenez come on, he said the same thing, that he got tired of people like trying to press up on him. He's like, wait a minute, we're in a business here.
Yeah. And that's part of when you're walking into this, there is protocol, right? There is you're moving money around. So I'm getting money from the executive producer to fund through our platforms to pay everybody. It takes time. It takes a couple days here or there. So you got to understand what you're walking into. Now, at the same time, the hard thing is people rip people off. And they told me the story. They went to do this music video with somebody, and the guy never told them that he didn't have the funding. He just said, oh, yeah, come, all right, how much? I got your rates. And then they got ripped off big time. Yeah. So there are rip-offs. If you're going to get into this business or any business, and whether it's with the Chicanos or the white people or whoever else, there's going to be people that are going to burn you. Be prepared. The best thing to do is get a contract. And as well as I do, contracts, it doesn't matter. You go to small claims court or whatever. It's just a waste of time. But the best thing to do is in your growth, you're developing relationships with people that you trust.
Yes.
Right now, thank God, I know that we have Chicano Hollywood has a reputation that we're going to take care of you. We hire you. My company, Fourth Man Productions, hires you. You're going to get paid. So there's been some tough times where it's coming out of my pocket to cover them because my client. We just did a big project in August. We didn't get that until November. That was a tough one, and so that happens. And this was with a big brand.
It's like construction. You're waiting 90 days, baby.
Yeah.
They're taking you into deep waters.
Yeah. So any type of business, and it doesn't matter if you're working with the Chicano community or any of them, you're going to come across people that are going to rip you off. You just be as wise as possible.
Talk to them about how much patience they need in this industry.
Oh, man, dude. Creative. Talk on the creative side, development.
Yeah, I think there's a good distinction to make between like social and long form. That's the beauty of social. You can move quick on an idea, film it, edit it, publish it, get some feedback. Traditional television, it's like year cycles. You look at feature film, it's like 2-year cycles. From the time you have a script and to the time you're in distribution, that's a 2-year cycle. So it's just a longer. I look at it like food. Like when you make food, when you make a lot of content, it's like making a lot of food. You can make like microwave stuff, quick social stuff, stovetop stuff. Takes a little bit longer, but more quality. Then there's like the crock pot, crock pot, meat falling off the bone experience that just takes all day though, but it's the best quality, right? That's a feature film. Takes longer, more money, more people, but it's a richer experience, right? You can't compare that to a little Hot Pocket that took you 2 minutes. But there's a market for all of it now. But you got to know what you're getting yourself into. You can't expect the traditional market to move at the speed of the digital market because there's 2 different animals, it's 2 different markets. So you just got to know that going into it. It's like
there's a lot on set. When you're on set, there's it's what's called hurry up and wait. Because while the cameras are rolling, everybody has to be quiet and you're just still. And they could be rolling for a minute, and once they sit cut, then you can move around. But we just shot something that had some actors come, and they came at 7 in the morning. I'm laughing at it. Hopefully they're not listening. They came at 7 in the morning. We had them all ready, makeup, wardrobe, all that stuff. We sat them down. Okay, just wait here. Rick, 6 o'clock at night. Hey, bro, sorry, we're not going to get to you today.
Oh, like
but
that,
they're still going to get paid.
But they're getting paid.
Yeah. They're going to get paid. And they're like, that's just part of it. I've
part of the
done that.
gig.
When I was acting, I've done that before, so yeah, it's part of the next day they came and they did
it all over again.
Yeah. So, and they, they got paid. So there is a lot of that because, we were dealing with horses, we were doing all kinds of stuff, and it doesn't always work. Rain, we had rain también, So there's a lot of patience, but it's like when you're putting either long form or short form together, you're getting a lot of paint brushes together. So picture a lot of paintbrushes, different artists trying to paint one picture.
Right.
And you do it right with a nice rhythm, it's going to be beautiful.
Kimo Savi, what's going on, my man?
Yepa. ¿Qué pasa, Mr. Gil?
Aquí con Chicano Hollywood in the building, homeboy.
Órale, Chicano Hollywood. Salud, man. Much respect, man. Much respect.
Gracias.
Salute to you, man, for both individuals, bringing in the y'all's genre in the entertainment business and coming on to the live stream on Mr. Gil. Much respect to y'all, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
And I had sorry about that. I have just a question, just real quick. I don't want to take up much of y'all's time because I know y'all have an interview. What advice would y'all give to the young Latinos, no matter what the background, as far as ethnicity, upbringing, or even for the ones that have been struggling, upcoming independent filmmakers, actors that are aspiring to just come up, because a lot of Latinos and the youth as well, they look up to the actors that are up and coming, even people in the TV show business as well. What kind of advice would you give the young Latinos that are looking at y'all?
Yeah. What I would tell them is just skill yourself.
Yes.
Skill yourself. If you don't have skills,
definitely.
Yeah, you might have passion, you might have dreams, but if you don't match those up with skills, you ain't gonna go anywhere. So I tell everybody, that's why we create the Masterclasses. And speaking on those, everyone that teaches, they have to do the first segment is their story. So we have like Fabian Alomar. Fabian Alomar, he talks about acting, right? So Fabian was on this fool. He's on the Hot Cheetos movie, right?
It's Cholo's Tribe.
Cholo's Tribe,
yeah.
right? So Fabian, first segment, he talks about how he was a gang member in Echo Park. And we're designing these so that they can hear and say, oh, man, if that guy can get out, I can get out. And then it
like
goes
a
into,
template,
yeah. So then they go into the skills. So to me, anyone that dreams about this, whether you're young or old, I mean, think about, I got into this when I was like 43 or 44 years old, maybe, something like that. I won't, I'm 55 right now. So 40 years old. So if you might be, middle age, or you might be older, and you say, you know what, I am too young, I'm too old for that. No. If it's in you,
it's never too late to
do
start.
it. Never too late. If you're young, stay out of trouble, skill yourself.
Exactly.
Just get some skills.
That's
Take
key.
our master classes, especially. Tell your Nino to buy it for you, right? And then the main thing is stay out of trouble and get the skills you need, because that's the only way that you're going to grow.
There you go.
Yeah, I would say
Appreciate
real quick,
it, man.
Yeah, I would add to that real quick. Put in your 10,000 hours, which is to the point of skill yourself. And then number 2, define your voice as a creator, and your voice will be your competitive advantage. So the more you define your voice by putting in your 10,000 hours, the more you're going to stand out from the pack, cut through the noise, and start to be able to really build a career for yourself.
Yeah, perfect. And 10,000 hours is based off a book, right?
Malcolm Gladwell.
Malcolm Gladwell talks about people
outliers.
that are at that higher level. It's because they've put in 10,000 hours into their skills over the course of their life.
Is that like acting classes?
Well, that could be, it applies to anything. Sports. I think talk about sports, right? It could apply to anything.
Yeah, multiple disciplines.
Yeah, any kind of discipline. But yeah, acting classes, production classes, reading, learn how to write a script. There's stuff out there. You don't have to go to film school anymore. My daughter graduated from film school. That cost me a lot of money. But she.
But you didn't have to go.
I know. A lot of her skills are out because she's working alongside of us. Now she's skilled herself. She knows really, really great skills. But there's stuff, if you can go to film school, don't disqualify yourself. I didn't go to film school. We took a couple classes at UCLA, and they were the night ones. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do the homework. You know what I'm saying? So they're those kind. But
right on through.
You can do it if it's in you. Then you figure out how to do it, and you hit us up. I'll guide you.
No, but the beauty is that sometimes school is for people, but like my job, right? I tell people, you don't got to go to school to read prints. I can show you. This is how you read blueprints. This is how you start reading elevations. This is how you can do it. And eventually you'll get the hang of it, especially working. Just like with you guys, with the actors, with the guys behind the cameras. Come work with us. We'll show you hands-on how to do it. And that's a great thing you guys are doing. And you guys are teaching the whole community.
Oh, this past weekend, I had a young filmmaker. He's younger than me, but he hit me up. We met for coffee about a week ago. He says, I want to produce. That's what I want. I want to produce. I said, all right, cool. You're going to be a PA with me. I have a project coming up. And I had him producing. So what he's producing, he's putting up tables. He's putting chairs up. He's picking up trash. I said, this is your PA here, but I see your work ethic, and then you're going to grow. And I'm going to teach him everything I have in me. Now, I'm not perfect. I haven't made Avatar yet or Avengers level yet. But, I can make a movie, right? And so I'm going to teach him the best I can. But the first step is, can you pick up trash? Do you have a work ethic? So to me, it's all about that. Just have the desire and get in there and get your hands dirty.
Yeah, some of those things they're going to come in there and be the jefe right away. There's so many of those, man.
Yeah. That's the worst. They'll stand around like, I have a director idea, but you're not the director. Go back and pick up trash.
Man, this movie would be a hit if you let me run it. Everybody.
Yeah.
Well, Johnny, we're going to start wrapping this thing up. I want you to tell people again where they can find you, how they can support you. We gotta get Fabian over here. Hit up Fabian. Let's get Fabian on here next month if he's got some time.
Fabian Alomar, call him Fabian Alomar.
I think I still got his number.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, hit up Fabian. We'll try him up like the second week or so of January. Try to get some of your guys.
Get Tanya Estrada, get her on the sheet. Hilarious.
Get some of your guys' talent over here, Johnny. Let me pull from your guys.
Yeah, dude, you got whoever, bro. Are you kidding? There's so many people that can come on, so you let me know. You'll never be short. Yeah.
For sure. So let everybody know. Look into the camera. Let them know they can find you.
Okay, follow us on all social media platforms. Chicano Hollywood. Go and download the app right now. Now, number one, I want to be able to say that the American Cholos audience took us at 10,000 on Instagram. If you could do that, I think we're short like maybe 70 people. So so that's it. You're not even following, bro. Come on, man.
Oh no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about let them know.
Yeah. Let them know. So follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and when we launch the subscription, I'll probably make it $2.99. Buy us a drink once a month. That's going to help us keep the engine going. Download our streaming app. Go to Roku, Apple, your iOS, Android, Google, Chrome Fire, all those. Go to them. Just put in Chicano Hollywood. It might be one word or two, depending on your app store, and download it. Watch the content. And even if you're vacuuming, just put it on. We have a lot of cool. We got Chicano 2.0, which is a music show. We have all kinds of stuff on there. So that's the best way to follow us right now. And the Masterclasses. You have a passion to grow, go to our website, go to the Masterclasses, sign up. If you don't got the $59, you tell your Nino, your Tio, whoever, tell them to give you a Christmas present, and you start learning. We're going to be uploading classes all year long, so just start learning. That's the best way you can do is skill yourself and be ready.
There you go. What you got, Albert?
I mean, I think he said it all right. I can't follow that up right
What
there.
you got, fool?
Yeah, I think I got everything. Let me go through my list.
Albert has a class on there called How to Create a Viral Video, and it's on the Masterclasses. So that, homeboy skilled. 1 billion views on his
How do you create a viral video, huh? Yeah, I need that one. I think if I could hit Boo Boo in the head with this right now, we'll go viral, Boo Boo. All right, guys, this was a great show. Johnny, I want to thank you. Albert, I want to thank you guys. You guys are doing a great thing for the community, for the culture.
I did have something.
Okay, what you got?
Looking at my notes.
What you got?
You mentioned Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
She was born in Mexico?
Dude, that's what I understand.
Are you serious?
She was born in Mexico, bro.
You know
she
where?
was another one. I think the F.
Yeah, she did.
And it was like she's probably like European or white or whatever, and they were raised over there. Like kind of
So what's her name? What's her name? She's one of the most beautiful women in the world.
Yeah, Rita Moreno.
Her name
Raquel
was
Welch.
Raquel Welch.
All these people had to change their names, right? So
they had to.
That's how it was. But now your name is your biggest asset. Your skin color is your biggest asset. So embrace it. There's also a thing called the story that the Oscar was a Mexican because the model that they use, right? So one of my things I want to do. What's his name? Carlos from Gangs of Glory on Instagram. He sits on the board. I think the overseas Boyle Heights, Mariachi Plaza. He hit me up. Let's do something there. And I'm kind of thinking maybe we'll do Oscar was a Mexican rally at Mariachi Plaza, right? And just celebrate that he was a Mexican. I'm spitting that out right now, Carlos. If you're hearing me, that's my idea. But let's toy with that. But
we'll do a live what's the name over there? It's a live show over there when you guys do that.
So there's a lot, man. There's a lot. It's sad that they had to do that, but it is what it is. I respect them. They survive.
The revolution is here.
Yeah.
And empieza con Chicano Hollywood. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys coming through. Make sure to go follow these guys on Instagram. Chicano Hollywood. Hollywood, por favor. Those are the reglas. Let's do it. Let's run it. Chris, thank you very much. Thank you guys for tapping in with us. Appreciate you guys. And you guys have a great night.
Thank you.
Throw these off. Look at these.
Yeah, I gotta
Good shit.
Thank you, bro. Fun, bro. Very